You ready to review the live action Avatar The Last Airbender Season 2, which just released on Netflix about a week ago?
Sure.
You got a score out of 10?
I don't know.
Take your time. You let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 4 out of 10.
5.
Yeah.
This is one of the hardest things for me to review because I am so constantly conflicted. I am conflicted in this moment, and I'm conflicted every second I'm watching the show.
Yep.
Because I think they do some really cool stuff.
Agreed.
And this is how I felt in the first season too, where I'm like, wow, that was pretty clever. I like that. I like that. And then in between, there's just moments where I'm just like,
what the hell?
Puzzled and perplexed looking at the screen. And so I just give it right down the middle. 5 out of 10, like, because I just don't know what to do with it. There's a lot of good things I could say about it, but there's a lot of things that, and it's like, it's going to be impossible for me to review fairly because it's going up against literally my favorite thing that's ever been created, possibly, which is the original show. It's my favorite show of all time. So, there's the argument that you need to watch it as its own thing. You can't compare it to the original because it's never going to be as good as the original. The original is the original. It's one of the most popular TV shows of all time. It's my favorite TV show of all time. So I am also trying to just watch it as its own thing. But also it's impossible to do because you can't do that in a vacuum because it is still trying to be the original a lot of the time. So we can get into more specifics, but that's why I'm so conflicted about it. I can go over good stuff. I can go over negative stuff. But overall, I can't say that watching it the majority of the time I was super enthused by it or excited about it, even though there's some stuff I like because I'm just so conflicted the whole time.
I want to continue talking no spoilers, and then we'll get into spoilers and really get into the nitty gritty. But I did see something. I can't remember if it was a tweet or a comment or something, and it really illustrates my opinion on this show. And it does, a lot of the writing does feel like the people that are making it do not like the original show. It just feels like that so often, and which is so perplexing to me because, first of all, how could you not like the original show because it's such a fucking masterpiece? But also, secondly, it's like, why are these people in charge? I don't know. Like, the writing is fucking terrible. Some of the worst writing in a show or movie I've seen this year. The lows of the live action Avatar season 2 are lower than anything else I've seen this year.
Yeah, the main negative that I have that is not a spoiler, is the writing in Netflix's Avatar, especially in season 2. Maybe in season 1, I can't remember. It was 3 years ago.
I don't remember season 1 being this bad.
The script and editing and like pacing and everything feels so weirdly cheap and slow and choppy. It feels like because they talk about how they're trying to like make it a little bit more adult. There's some more adult things that happen or whatever, but like the script and the writing and the way you edit it makes it feel like I'm watching Bob the Builder or like a Bluey episode where it's like the characters are like, oh, we're in Ba Sing Se now. Do you see Appa? And it's like, why are you writing it like that?
Well, that's Netflix. That's Netflix. They have Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were in an interview. I can't remember if it was on Joe Rogan, but it was on a big publication. And they were like, Netflix, when you do things with these streamers, because everybody watches on their phone, they require you to repeat the plot 6 times. That's that.
But I've watched Netflix shows before that aren't like this. And there's some good in the show. Like, I think a lot of it looks good in terms of, the costume design and set design. Ba Sing Se looks and feels like Ba Sing Se. Toph's design is cool. There's some good acting and everything. But like there are moments there where the script is just like, that wasn't funny. And then like you're staying on this shot too long. Like you should have cut 2 seconds ago. Like why? Like are we just trying to make the episode longer? So the editing, pacing, and script, I think if those things were fixed, like, because there's a lot of complaints about, oh, well, you changed this from the show. This was a bad decision. This doesn't necessarily work. I think all of that is secondary to just writing what you had better. If you had a better script that flowed better and better editing that flowed better, that didn't make it seem choppy and like I was watching a show written for 5-year-olds and by 5-year-olds, I think the show would be solid. I wouldn't like some of the changes you made. I would like some of them. I would dislike some of them, but I wouldn't like. It'd be a lot more watchable. Does that make sense?
This is one of your best takes you've ever had on the podcast because it perfectly exemplifies the difference between season 1 of this show and season 2. Season 1, our entire review was going, we don't like how you did Boomy. We don't like how you did the storm. We don't like how you did this. We don't like how you did that. I don't like that you took this moment away from Roku, right? But no, like they did a lot of stuff like that in this season that bothered me. But it didn't bother me as much as how boring this show was, or how annoying this show was, or how bad the writing was, or how much I rolled my eyes. It's so secondary to like, well, like, look, I don't blame, I think the cast is phenomenal. And I think they all have moments where they really shine. There's a great moment where Jet gives one of the better performances in the entire show. I think that Katara's actress, Gawindio, she is way better in season 2 as an actress than she is in season 1. I think every actor or actress gives a tremendous performance at some point in this season, but there are lines where I'm like, God, you couldn't have gotten a better take, but probably it's not the fault of the actors. It's just the writing sucks. There are some line deliveries from the poor young man that plays Aang Gordon in the last couple of episodes where I'm like, wow, that was awful.
Aang is one of my biggest negatives, but like I said, I love the cast. I think they're great, and sometimes I feel like they are more their characters off camera. Like Gordon in interviews and stuff, and you see him laughing and behind the scenes stuff. It's like, that's Aang. Why did you cast a perfect Aang and then direct him to not be Aang? So it's not even like necessarily their fault. It's just, yeah, I mean, the script is just yeah, I don't know. But in terms of Aang, we hated Boomy in season 1, and Boomy is in one scene in this season, and he's one of my biggest negatives because he's still just absolutely awful. He sucks. But the reason he sucks is you take the most jovial, enthusiastic, happy, fun, funny character from the show of Boomy and turn him into someone miserable. You kind of do the same thing with Aang in this season.
Absolutely.
And there are times in the original where he is miserable. When Appa gets taken, being one. When he's arguing with them about them not knowing what he's going through because he doesn't want to take the Fire Lord's life, and he screams at them then. There are moments when he runs away during the storm and he's crying. There are moments when Aang is miserable. But those miserable, angry moments have more of an impact. Him saying, "You muzzled Appa," and being angry is so out of character for him, and it shows how much he loves
awesome.
That it's awesome.
It's awesome.
He is
always mad.
He is mad or depressed or angry or just not having a good time 99% of the time. And again, that's not Gordon's fault. That is the writing's fault. So like when they have their, well, that's spoilers.
Yeah,
but
we don't want to get into spoilers.
That's one of my biggest negatives if we're talking about things different from the show. Is Aang.
Daniel Day Kim is super hot as Ozai. Every scene he's in, I'm like, holy shit, this guy is hot as fuck. He's not nearly the boogeyman that Ozai is in the original series. He's not nearly as scary. He is much hotter.
He's hot in the animated.
Sure, but he's really hot in this show.
He's hot in the animated.
Ozai's hot in this show.
Another one of the positives for Netflix's Avatar is I think a lot of the set and costume design is solid. Like I think Aang looks like Aang. I think Toph looks like Toph, and I don't think there's a way that you could do a lot of that better. I think Ba Sing Se looks and feels like Ba Sing Se. The Serpent Pass looks like Serpent's Pass. I think the volume was used a lot more in season 1, and I think I noticed it more in season 1. There are times, whether they're like flying on Appa or something's happening, where you can kind of tell that's green screen. But I think the visual effects of the bending when it actually happened
looks so good.
It looks great. The water looks great. The fire, especially. There's a lot more earthbending in this season, obviously, than last season. So Toph doing her thing, the Dai Li. And then, you know, the best bender is Dallas, is Zuko. Watching him do his thing is so...
I wanted to say this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, keep going.
He's the most entertaining bender to watch because he's trained to do that stuff and he's killing it.
It's so cool watching him do the kicks. And I saw a video and
it's very Zuko. Zuko uses his legs for his firebending a lot.
I saw a tweet and it was like, why does the bending look so weird in Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender? And it was like this whole thing explaining like that the original series, it bases it off like certain martial arts, and with the live action, they're doing different martial arts, and so that's why it looks different. I haven't clocked that personally, but to me, like Dallas looks incredible. Every single shot of Zuko kicking a fireball and this and that looks incredible, but it does create a problem for me, which is he is supposed to be so much worse than Azula, and yet Azula looks so much worse bending than Zuko.
Yes.
And the only way that it explained is in the CGI of it, where it's her CGI is blue, so I can understand in my head that that's hotter, and she can do the lightning and he cannot. That's the way I understand it, but that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think they use different sound effects for Azula's fire too, which I really appreciated. Hers sounds scarier. It's more like, it feels like the fire is screaming at you. And it was really good. I think the lightning looks good too. In terms of acting, I agree with you. A lot of them give great performances.
At times.
At times, yeah. But again, I think it was really reliant on the script. There were scenes where the script, I was like, oh, this is a good conversation. Like, this is interesting. And when that happened, I felt like the acting was raised a little bit because they had a little bit more to work with.
Sure.
But overall, I think Dallas was probably my favorite. I think he killed it as Zuko. There was never a moment where I was like, oh, that was really, really awkward or chunky. Iroh's great. I think Azula, I think I liked her more this season than the last season. Same thing you said about Katara. I think she's better this season than she is last season. I don't think either of them were bad in the last season, but I think Azula did a great job. And yeah, I think my top two were Dallas and Mia, I believe. Toph. I think she did a great job. You don't think she did a great job? I thought she was great. I thought she was very Toph. He disagrees. Those are my top two.
Yeah, I completely disagree on that one, brother.
Really?
But that's the number one where I feel it's the writing.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, it depends on the scene.
But like I think the writing for Toph can be so I'm trying to be Toph, but not.
Sure.
And I thought like so it came across as so phony to me anytime.
I think I was able to pick out those moments as script better. There are moments, there are a lot of times where if it wasn't like, oh, they're trying to let her call Aang a funny name right now.
Anytime she calls anybody any nickname like she does in the original, like Twinkle Toes, I like don't buy it at all.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah.
And so that like loses me. She also, it does not help. She has the worst line and line read in the show.
Which is I'm Toph Bang.
Well, that's spoiler warning.
I don't think that's a spoiler.
All right, well, we'll get to it in spoilers, but it's not. Yeah, she does have the worst line read in this season, and thus the show.
I agree, it's the worst. I think, yeah.
I, again, don't think it's her fault.
No. Do you want to?
Yeah. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning for live action Avatar: The Last Airbender. Spoiler warning for that show, and assume spoiler warning for the original animated show. I mean, what do you want to talk about first?
All right, let's do some likes.
The Fire Nation stuff continues to be really interesting. How they expand on it. How the flashbacks with the mother are so good.
Yep.
The actress for the mother is so good.
Yep.
So hot, by the way. Like all the Zuko stuff flashbacks are really good. And then again, Azula is the best part of this show.
Yeah, she's great.
She's so like, I'm not necessarily saying she's the best actress. I'm not necessarily saying she's the most entertaining, but consistently, like when she's going into the plan and she's going to the general and she's like, you're gonna fucking do anything for me, and then we see her turn him in and they're the Kyoshi warriors, and then they're like, we gotta find the shadow leader, and then she just kills the Judy, and then as soon as Long Fang walks in, she's like, I thought it was you. Like, all that is so good.
It's very Azula. She's cool, calm, collected, and in charge. She's great. I think the addition of letting her just murder all the generals was one of the moments where I actually sat up in my chair and I was like, oh, this is really interesting because it was different, but it was good. I didn't hate it. Yeah, and you know, the way that she took over Ba Sing Se was very different. They added a lot of stuff for her in the Fire Nation with the mom and her talking to her dad and her dad sending her on this mission, and it was to bring Zuko home, which kind of was her mission in the show, but then not really. Like, she was just tricking them, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, Azula was really great. And then, you know, what did you think about her making Ty Lee and May fight?
You know, I thought it was weird because we saw that at the premiere. And I rewatched that episode when I went and watched the series. And watching it on my computer, I was like, oh, this is way weirder than I remembered it being. It's them trying to make Azula crazy. Because she's crazy in the fucking show, in the original. But it's like such an out of character thing. It's one of those things where it's like, that doesn't make any sense. She loves Ty Lee and May. That's why their betrayal in the original animated hurts her so bad.
Yeah.
Because she does love them.
In her own way, yeah.
She would never do that. So but it's again, it's such a different show that I can almost like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to ask you something. You and I have never talked about this in detail, but I think I know this. That one of your favorite scenes in the original animated show, especially one of your favorite scenes in season 2, is their, what would you call it? Their siege on Ba Sing Se when they come in and they're going against all the earthbenders and you have fucking Aang riding Appa and he stops the thing.
The palace invasion.
The palace invasion. All right.
Yes.
That's one of your favorite scenes in season 2. Would that be an accurate statement?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Not even, I mean, to have them just sneak in with the fucking wine. Is that something that really bothered you?
Yeah. And that's one where it's like, I understand it's live action.
It's harder
you
to
can't
do.
do it. They probably didn't want to spend the money on it, is basically what it was. But
It's such a cool scene.
You took, but maybe it's good because there were a lot of epic scenes that they kept that didn't hit the same. So it probably would have been the same.
Sure. I did not like the cave fight at all. At the end,
Yeah, why?
I think the Aang putting on armor was so dumb and looked so bad to me.
Yeah, that didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It's just so tough because there's. So I'm just gonna go through some things.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite positives in season 1, but also in season 2 is I like the way that they make the storylines converge because it's very different. In season 1, they had Cave of Two Lovers, Jet, Boomy, Engineer all converge in Omashu.
Yeah, cool.
And they somehow all tied it together. I think that's interesting to kind of have one major set piece and to take all these storylines from the show where they're traveling all over the place and kind of have them all happen at the same place. They did that with Ba Sing Se. Appa getting stolen happened in the desert, the library, Jet, the Painted Lady, Blue Spirit. They did a bunch of different stuff that kind of happens other places and did them all in Ba Sing Se. I kind of like that. Like I said, I think Netflix's Avatar, I think they do costume design really well. I think the Painted Lady looked fabulous.
I completely agree.
Not even just the costume and the makeup, but the way it was shot, the way they used the mist. That's very Painted Lady from the show, how she kind of comes in and out. I think they did a great job.
The best thing for me in all of season 2 is the montage. I can't remember what episode it is. Oh, you didn't like it?
At the start where she's training him?
No. Well, she's training him is part of the montage, but it's like cutting and it's like Zuko's going to work.
Yeah.
And she's the Painted Lady and then she's not getting any sleep and then they're training. I loved that. You didn't like that?
I liked it and then I just felt it went on for 30 seconds too long.
I liked it. I thought it was like cool, like the monotony. It really got me into this is Ba Sing Se, this is their lives now. They're kind of lulled into this lifestyle now. It kind of set the tone. I really liked that. I'm sorry that you did it.
Suki is given a little bit more to do in season 2. I mean, she's in season 3 a lot in the original, but she's in this one a little bit more. And they make her pretty awesome. I mean, she takes down Ty Lee and May by herself, which just goes to show how awesome of a fighter she is. It was a 2v1, and it was that I thought that was a positive. I thought that was really fun. Long Fang.
Yes, that's a positive.
There is a positive, yes. Letting him be best friends with Aang
really good.
Was good. It makes the twist that he's the actual bad guy even better. Because we find out in the show, obviously before the gang, and they know who Long Fang is, but when they first meet Long Fang, he's kind of just telling them, you can't see the king. In this one, he's like, you can't see the king, but I'm really going to help you. I'm your buddy. I'm going to do this. Blah, blah.
I thought it was so good.
I thought that was really...
I just wish the reveal was better. Because the reveal is nothing in the show. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the reveal that he stole Appa, and that's the first time you know he's bad?
In the show?
Yeah,
I believe so.
I believe so as well. That's how I remember it being. That's a good reveal. But again, he's already an asshole in the show. It's nothing crazy. I wish there was a better reveal of him being a bad guy, because I don't think the reveal in the live action was very good. But he was a consistent highlight for me. Even despite bad writing, he is giving a great performance consistently. I know that actor. What do I know him from?
Yeah.
But like he was a positive for me, no question.
They deal with the Fire Nation trauma more than they do in the show, and it's good.
He's the billionaire from Dark Knight.
Oh yeah.
That's how I knew him. Sorry, continue.
They deal with Fire Nation trauma more. Zuko's and Iroh's. Obviously Iroh's, because Iroh, they delve into Lu Ten more. He literally sees the woman come out and protest and put the names on the wall. Awesome scene. Another one that was like, great idea. Could have been written a little better. It felt like this woman just came out of nowhere just so we could have this moment to show Uncle Iroh. But seeing Uncle Iroh deal with his guilt and how he moves on. And then I think the conversation, again, it could have been a little bit better, but the conversation where he goes to the White Lotus and the guy stands up and is like, "You're still the Dragon of the West. The dragon's still in there. I don't believe you. I
killed your son.
I'm the guy that got your son killed. The dragon would kill me for that." And then Uncle Iroh being like, "Thank you for, having me. I forgive you, whatever."
No, he asks him for forgiveness, which is good.
Was great. That's really, really freaking good.
Is that not John?
Yeah, is it?
Which pisses me off. I don't know if you know this. Zhang's like easily my favorite side character in Avatar. Like I love him in season 1.
I was watching, I was like, that looks like Zhang.
Yeah, I think it's 100% supposed to be Zhang.
Same actor, same guy talking to Zuko. When Zuko went, I think the conversation with him and the Fire Nation Asylum people that's one of those scenes where I was like, oh, this is written a little bit better. They're not just hitting us over the head with the same information. Like there's some nuance here. There's some emotion, and I really, really liked it. The Uncle Iroh Toph conversation was good. When they're kind of talking about the tea and whether she should go see her mom or not, and who sees her and stuff. I think I had a problem with them all fighting, mainly because of Aang. I think that's something that obviously doesn't happen in the show. They all split up amicably. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing to have them fight and then all decide to come back. I think it just wish it was handled a little bit differently. I wish Aang wasn't so much of a jerk or wasn't the instigator of all of it.
It's weird.
That was bad. But I did think it was interesting seeing them all have their own reasons for wanting to split, and then finding them all individually finding reasons to come back to each other. Toph with her mom in that conversation. Sokka talking with the professor, Aang talking with Iroh as well. So yeah, I thought that was all good. Any other positives? The bending was good. The sets, costume design was good. Some of the changes they make, like the storylines converging in Ba Sing Se, is good. Suki was good. Long Feng was good. Zuko and Uncle Iroh dealing with some Fire Nation trauma was good. Azula's acting and her influence and the way they carry her storyline, all that was good. And that's why I'm conflicted, because there's a lot of stuff in there that I like. Is there anything else? Okay.
We get into negatives.
Sure.
God, this show is melodramatic. I probably 50 times during the 7 episodes of this season went, God, I'm watching a soap opera. Oh my gosh, is it so anti-fun? Like, it is so like, why are these people fighting? Why are these people arguing the way they are? Like, it's not, like, does Netflix or whoever made this show think that, like, people love watching arguments? Because it's so much of the show is, like, people being so annoying. I mean, we dealt with it in season 1 because it felt like every Aang conversation was, you're a piece of shit because you were gone for 100 years. Fuck you, you piece of shit. That was every single line in season 1. But instead of it just being for Aang, in season 2, it's everybody. everybody is talking about how much everything sucks all of the time. For one of the most positive, funny animated shows of all time, it's absurd.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing.
Oh, last positive. That shot when he's in the Avatar state where you see the fucking thing of all the avatars was badass. I loved that shit. Sorry, continue.
I have another positive as well.
Yeah.
Did you like what they did with Sokka? I think Sokka dealing with his PTSD from the North and that influencing a lot of his decisions and keeping a wall up with Suki and that hurting their relationship, and then Katara finally sitting on the floor with him at the party and talking to him about that. I thought that was all really good.
That's kind
It's
of
another way of making the show more depressing.
exactly. That's like one of these where it's an example. Maybe it's the best one because it is well acted and it's probably better written than some of the other ones. But all of the melodrama in this season, all of it pissed me off. So that was part of it. Where it's like, this is like normally one of the funniest, stupidest, silliest characters in fiction, and you are giving him a PTSD plot line. Like, oh my gosh.
I liked it. I liked that.
A great example. Like, I think that the whole Toph thing is so dumb. Toph was consistently my least favorite part of the show. I don't think she's as funny or as good or as Toph as she needs to be, like, in this entire season. So I wasn't, like, entertained by her. I kind of found her annoying when she was being bitchy. And then, like being Toph. And I think the subplot with her and her parents and that her parents are selling weapons to the Fire Nation and this and that. I thought everybody's reaction to that was always consistently so stupid. Like, yeah, Toph, you hate your family. Why are you paying this person off? Or like, yeah, Toph, like, why are you arguing with them? You're like, and the whole time she's like, I'm not my family. And everybody's like, fuck you. I'm like, she's not her family. And then she's got the scene with her mom where she's complaining about everybody else and then she poisons her and this and that. It's like, oh, so dumb. Like, stop. Why are you? They're no fun. And then all of the fun stuff, it feels like the show people, the people that made the show understood they got backlash for things they changed from season 1. The cactus juice is the most pointless shit in the world, and it's not funny. It's not funny at all.
No, yeah, there were a lot of moments, and this is another thing that I'm conflicted about, because there's a lot of moments where, like, they're putting things in from the show that they know the fans want to see.
Yep.
And it'd be bad if they're not in the show, but the way they do it is, like, you just put that in, you shoehorn that in.
It's like so forced.
Like, he says the giant mushroom line. What the frick is he looking at?
Yes, you're
The mushroom
right.
line is funny is because Aang just made a giant cloud in the sky by using airbending, and it looked like a mushroom. That's why Sokka said that in the original. In this, he's lying on the floor looking at
Nothing.
nothing. There, Zuko. Did they make him mean enough?
No. Zuko's flip-flopping of all season was pissing me off. I needed him to be full bad or full good, and they never commit to anything, and it pisses me off. I'll give you the best example of this, okay? He's an asshole to Iroh in episode 1. You and
Great.
I loved that.
Loved it.
Loved it. I wish he was a little bit meaner. Would have loved for him to say, you're the reason Lieutenant's dead. Would have loved that, but he doesn't. It's fine. Then in episode 2, you do Zuko alone a little bit. But you have him steal food and supplies and water from a pregnant family. What the fuck? But then you have him doing nice things in the very next episode. I don't buy that at all. You need to make him full bad.
Yes.
You can't have him flip-flopping like that, because I think that him stealing the water and food from the pregnant family is worse than any positive thing he does. And feels so out of character for Zuko.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Oh, okay.
Because I've seen other people say that. Why is that out of character?
Because he's, at the end of the day, he's like a good person. He's never that selfish.
Is it mainly because she's pregnant? It makes it a lot worse. Because he steals their ride, right? He steals the bird that he rides on.
Stealing a bird and stealing like all of their belongings, completely different thing.
I don't know. In the show, someone like literally takes him in, gives them hospitality, feeds him, and then he steals from them. So I don't think it's like that much more of a leap.
Sure.
But you say he does something nice in the very next episode. Wrong. He does something nice that same episode. Because
That's what I mean.
that's the same, because he freaking is staying with that kid.
And he saves him from the.
But that happens in Zuko alone, anyways. In the show, he helps their roof. He helps make their roof, but the father's like, well, you can help me do this while they make dinner. In the show, he starts just fixing their roof just because he wants to. Not even 2 minutes before he's stealing from a pregnant woman.
Exactly.
And then, in the show, obviously there's flip-flopping because you think he goes through the metamorphosis and you think he's chosen to be good and he's nice to Iroh, and then he swaps again. I don't think the swap is as earned in the live action because him and Azula fight, and then Azula is the one that's like, we're supposed to always be together because I'm sad about Mom.
It's the thing that comes back from the mom. I don't buy it from Zuko. I love it from Azula.
I don't buy it from either. Because they give Zuko and the Katara moment in the Crystal Catacombs, they give him way more to say. That you feel bad for him in the show. You feel even worse for him in the live action because he says the line, when you see the face of the Fire Nation, you see it and you hate it. I hate it too. He literally hates himself. So that followed up by him literally fighting Azula in the show. He has Uncle Iroh and Azula talking to him at the same time, and Azula is hitting him with all the things that he's always wanted. Honor. You're going to come home. You'll be a hero. We can do this together. Yeah. It's not, oh, I'm also sad about Mom.
Yeah, you're right. There should have been more of that.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of...
Because you could just play into him being a peasant for this entire season.
Yes.
Full belly. You won't have to work a day, and all she needed to do was that.
And also, why is the Blue Spirit Batman? Like he's Robin Hood. He's stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. In the show, he steals from the rich. He steals from a really rich guy, and then he just takes it home and gives it to Iroh. He keeps it. It's another example of him being selfish. He steals from someone and then goes and gives it to the pregnant lady. He's Robin Hood. Zuko's not supposed to be Robin Hood. Zuko's supposed to be a jerk this season, for the majority of it anyways. So I was just that was another thing that I was conflicted on. Because again, I like some of the Zuko stuff. I liked him dealing with the trauma. I liked some of the conversations he had. I like the Blue Spirit fight scenes. I think the converging of... I don't think there's any reason for him to work with the Painted Lady. And that's another thing of him being nice. He got captured because he was trying to save Katara. No, he got captured in the original because his pride wouldn't let him run away from Azula, and he turned back around and wanted to challenge her to an Agni Kai. Little different.
But you're right. All of these I have so many problems with things they do in season 2, but it's so secondary to the melodrama and the writing and the acting.
All of this is...
If it's entertaining, I don't think I give a fuck about any of this.
I would care, but yeah, it would be a...
Great example. I've said this before, and I said this in our review and this and that, but one of my favorite scenes in season 1 is the Roku saving them at the Fire Temple. I think it is so fucking awesome for so many reasons. They take that moment away from Roku, they give it to Kyoshi in season 1, but guess what? That scene is fucking awesome, so I didn't care. It's like, but you don't... None of it is awesome. Dog, the metal bending scene. It's so bad. It's so. I'm Toph Beifong. I invented metal bending. She doesn't say, I just invented metal bending, which makes that line significantly better. Dog, that's your mother. She knows who Toph Beifong is.
I'm going to push back just a little bit. It's a bad line. It's a bad line. The reason that I think they justify it is because in that entire scene, she is talking about...
You don't know me.
Her friends not knowing who she is, and she wants to know who she is, and I'm not your property. I thought my friends knew me. Doesn't matter. I know who I am. I'm Toph Beifong. And in the show, I think she says, I'm Toph Beifong, and I'm the greatest earthbender in the world. So it's not completely out of character. It's just... It's still bad. I'm not saying it isn't. Because the entire show is that. So it gets a little old. And yes, it's her mom.
But it's her mom. It's not a stranger. And she's like, you don't know me, so why not renounce the last name? I'm the blind bandit. Makes that line so much better.
I just think it suffers from what a lot of the cool moments in the show suffer from. Of in the original to the live action, there is a lack of aura. There's a lack of cool factor. In the show, she isn't giving her a self-talk about how her friends don't know her. It is Guru Patik talking to Aang, teaching him how to connect to the earth, and that even in metal, there's parts of the earth. And that overarching like voiceover while she's figuring it out. And then she breaks out, then she puts those other two guys in and closes it up. And then she's talking to them because they always thought they were better than her. And then she says, I'm the greatest earthbender in the world. That's aura. That's a lot of fun. When they break into the palace, Aang does not give an F. He blocks Earth this way. He knocks all of them out. Katara's treating them all like children. The coolest thing in the world where she slides off the ice, knocks them out, does a somersault, and doesn't even look. Like, Toph and...
I like Toph doing this thing.
Toph and Aang.
The blocking, it's
Toph
so
and
cool.
Yeah, like... it transfer to we're in buckets of wine. Aang realizing Appa's gone. You muzzled Appa, destroying their stuff. Way scarier. He literally, I'm not kidding, I think he goes, Appa, Appa, floats for 2 seconds, comes back down. That's it. Also in the show, Katara helps calm him down. Another Katang moment that they took away. He is literally crying while he's in the Avatar state. And Katara used to be scared of that. Katara has seen the destruction that it can do. And Katara walks up and grabs his hand anyways and holds him while he's still in the Avatar state crying.
I know. So much peak.
The cool and the aura that is just sucked out of some of these moments is it's hard to do in live action, so you got to give them a little bit of a break. But then there are also times where it's like you should have done something a little different. And like everything you feel in the show, you feel pretty freaking epic when they're breaking into the palace. You feel scared when he finds out Appa's gone. You feel sad when Appa is gone, because you get Appa's lost days and you get more moments with them. And when he finally sees Appa again and Appa's finally out and there's this shot of the sun and then you see Appa come into frame and Appa saves them and he runs and jumps on him, is crying. It's so much better than Appa, Earthbend, go.
With the baby Appa flashback, which was cute.
Yes, but in the baby Appa flashback, Aang is having that flashback, and he's literally having a dream, and you can see in the flashback he's hugging him, and then it flashes to Aang, and he's going like that, laughing in his dream, and then turns over. It's also better in the show. So yeah, again, sometimes it's just a fault of it's hard to do in live action, and then sometimes it's...
I just keep coming back to consistently my favorite things throughout this show are things not from the original show.
Yes, I like some of the changes they make.
And so
if they just changed them with a better script, it would be even more interesting and more enjoyable.
I agree. So it just brings me back to I'm anti live action remakes. I still am. I realized that. When did I realize that? What project did I realize that for?
How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon. Thank you. How to Train Your Dragon, because How to Train Your Dragon perfected it. It did everything perfectly. It did everything lesser, but it did everything. It's a shot-for-shot remake of the movie, but it felt so lifeless, you know? Avatar, the most interesting things are different, so just make a whole different thing. Because the people that made this show do not want to make Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's very evident, because they do not like the original show. That's very evident. Just make Game of Thrones. If you want to make this weird melodrama, make some weird soap opera. If you want to make a show with people arguing all the time in a fantastical world all the time, just make a new show. Because this shit sucks. Sorry.
Also, this is a small thing, but the Toph explanation for why she could see in the library was
terrible.
Was the dumbest thing in the world.
Andrew.
I couldn't believe it. Because they make the point, and I knew this obviously already from the original, but I knew you can't use your bending in the spirit world. And she doesn't go into the library in the original. So when she goes in there, and it's obvious she can't see because of the braille and everything, and then she's walking, I literally, before they give an explanation, but the explanation sucks, I said out loud, why can she know where I was like, why can she see? And then she literally just said something about echolocation.
Acoustics and vibrations are sweet is the exact quote. Andrew, I want you to know something. I knew I was going to remember every single thing to talk about on this show. So I didn't write any notes, okay? Look at my one note for Avatar live action season 2.
So bad.
I wrote it in the show. I was like, I cannot forget. Because I literally go, is Toph ever in the spirit world in the OG? If she can't bend, how the fuck can she see? She's walking around unattended like she can see, but there's no way, right? And I wrote that before they gave the explanation. And in the explanation, the acoustics and vibrations are sweet. I wrote that down in quotes and I said, what the fuck does that mean? This is the only note I took during the entire show. I was so baffled.
And they gave her, she was snapping a little later, as if to like use echolocation.
That is so dumb. She does not have super hearing.
Yeah, that was bad.
Sorry if I just fucked up this. I just, damn it. We're getting season 3 next year. We'll see how that is. We'll see Ozai do a fireball the size of this room rather than the size of Canada.
It is a pretty big fireball in the show.
It's huge.
It's so freaking cool. Dude, I don't even want to think about the scene where he grabs his goatee and comes out of the rubble.
That's going to be way less cool.
Also, in the final fight, in the Avatar state, he's about to kill Azula and chooses not to. That moment is supposed to be for Ozai. They're just going to retread that. It's almost the exact same thing. He's in the Avatar state. She's on the ground. He makes sharp things to kind of throw at her, and then he stops. That is exactly what happens with Ozai. So is that supposed to be like a precursor to kind of like he already knows he doesn't want to kill, but like if you do it again, it's going to feel cheap?
The parable of the two dragons, is that in the original show?
No.
It was interesting how they made that up and then had Azula. That's exactly what happens with Azula and Aang. That was interesting. It just so happens to be that it's not that good.
I liked it.
Damn it. I will say, I don't know if this is a hot take. I know that it may bother you if you feel very strongly about it. Season 2 is my least favorite season of the original show. Not saying it's bad. Still, definitely a 9 out of 10. Probably a 10 out of 10. Probably every season of Atla is a 10 out of 10. But I loved season 1 so much. I have so much nostalgia for it. I think that that's the season that I watched the most when it was coming out. I definitely didn't watch season 2 when it was coming out. And then season 3, I only watched Sozin's Comet. Because that was a whole event, and my cousins were in town, and it was cool.
God, back in the day, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So cool.
Peak. But the thing with Atla, I definitely liked this season less because I cared less about the things that were going on. I don't find the Ba Sing Se conspiracy that interesting in the original.
Wrong.
But dude, it's just even then I'm watching it and I'm like, damn, Judy is so much better in the fucking animated than she is in this live action.
The brainwashing scene is a little bit more intense in this one. I like that.
Yeah, sure. The there's no war in Ba Sing Se. Way more intense. But you could do that in live action. What do you think about Jet being a good guy? Does he sacrifice himself being a good guy in the OG?
I mean,
Oh, I didn't remember.
yeah, I mean,
I didn't remember.
he gets brainwashed and then he turns and he tries to kill Long Feng. Long Fei kills him.
Yeah, but that's not him being a good guy. He dies for them, saving them. That's way different.
Yeah, but they still make him really freaking evil.
I've always, always, always thought of Jet's death as he's trying to kill Long Feng out of revenge for brainwashing him. Is it in the show? Is it him?
No, I mean, he in the season 2 of the original, he's kind of turned over a new leaf and he's given up trying to kill innocent people like he did in season 1. And he's just trying to help people and find refuge in Ba Sing Se like everyone else. And then he gets brainwashed. Other than the reason he gets brainwashed is because he's trying to prove to everyone that Zuko and Iroh are firebenders. But he's not going and beating up innocent people.
Yeah.
So and he's very he doesn't really care about his squad. Like he kind of leaves Smellerby and Longshot.
Yeah.
Multiple times. That doesn't seem really Jet to me, I don't think, but maybe.
Weird. We'll see how they're going to do all this stuff in season 3. I mean, they're not going to do the Avatar and the Fire Lord.
I don't know. I'm still weirdly excited for season 3, but it's like I'm just so conflicted because like I want to watch it, but because I like seeing the stuff that's different and the stuff that they add and I like seeing these characters and I like the cast.
I maintain you should have done this from the perspective of the Fire Nation. All the Fire Nation stuff is interesting. You do this from the perspective of the Fire Nation, and then it's from Zuko's perspective, and then he becomes a good guy season 3, and he sees how different things are. That would have been awesome. An awesome retelling. And the audience, the fans, would have fucking loved that shit. They would have looked at it as new content. It would have been completely different, you know?
Yeah.
And then if you're doing things different, like you don't have the budget to do some crazy Appa stuff or anything like that, which by the way, this would save you a shit ton of budget because you could do less Appa stuff and less bending stuff and everything if it's just fire. Fucking, if you do it that way, you save the budget and you can like make it like, oh, Zuko's not a reliable narrator. Like that as well. Like, oh my gosh. This could have been so fucking sick if you did it like that. But no, they hate us.
No, they don't.
I'm glad you didn't enjoy it.
Thanks.
I'm sorry. I just
There are
like
parts that I did. There were
Me
parts that I
too.
did, but
it's not. It's like,
yeah, there were too many times where I was just like,
what is this?
what?
Yeah.
And it's mainly just the writing and the pacing and the editing.
The score is good.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.